So we're going to do a detailed walk around the Mecalac 8 MCR to show some specifics and technical details of the machine. We'll start at the front of the machine. So this is the Mecalac Connect hitch. It's significantly stronger than a standard excavator hitch because we need to have enough strength for skid steer attachments. A standard excavator hitch, only about 150mm wide, can't handle the forces the 2-meter wide skid steer bucket and the extra hydraulic power we have puts on the machine. So we have this Mecalac Connect hitch. It's a fully integrated hitch from the factory, built into the end of the dipper stick. So we can see here we're scalloped away, and then we fit this hydraulic cylinder between the dipper stick and the H-link. So what happens here, instead of the jaw being in the hitch, the jaw is on the attachments, and then the hitch pins stay in the machine. So all we really do is bring this hydraulic cylinder in enough to come outside of the jaws. So it's fully compliant in Australia with certification and many other countries. It's seriously a safe hitch. There's 3 factors of safety built in, including a mechanical lock. This ear profile stops the front pin coming out, and the mechanical lock stops this rear pin coming out. So it's both front and rear lock. The other advantage of this hitch is the geometry. So it's the same geometry as having no hitch at all installed on the machine. That's because this pivot point is normally where your hydraulic hitch would be installed onto. However, our hitch is up inside it. Moving on, protected hitch lines with steel sliders, rated lifting point at the back on the top of the link. Nice cover here to protect those hoses from damage. Coming up, we've got our main auxiliary circuit. So on the 8, it's 100 litres per minute, which is plenty of flow for most applications. We have the second auxiliary line. So if you have a rotating grab, you can do your rotation with this and your grab with this. Coming across to the other side, same deal there, and we have the additional case drain fitted already. So if you're running a flail mower or other attachment that needs case drain, it's already there. We have improved bucket rotation, so our angle from all the way in to all the way out is increased over a standard excavator. This gives us better handling with pallet forks or the skid bucket. Also helps you for a standard excavator job because we can get flat back trenches, or we can load up into a truck easier with that improved angle of rotation. So we have anti-drop valves even on the bucket cylinder and our middle cylinder, boom cylinder. These machines have an offset. It's a single pin offset, so it's not a knuckle boom as such. It doesn't have the 4 links. It's just a single pin in the middle. This allows us to put some tilt on the bucket as well, up to about 12 degrees, depending on what we need to do. The blade has an anti-drop valve as well, which helps our lifting. Tracks, smooth track design, fixed rollers underneath, 6 rollers on the 8. The drive motor is out of a track loader, so it's a closed loop hydrostatic system, the same as a track loader. That's why we run such big sprockets. We can get the speed, but we also have the torque. So 10 kilometers an hour, but also really high pushing force compared to a track loader or an excavator. In the engine bay here, first we'll look at the pump. So this huge first pump is for the track system, so 1 pump on each side. That's how we get so much drive torque, same as a track loader. And then we have the equipment pump at the end there, which does the boom and the auxiliary circuit, etc. So they're individual pumps, so you can be tracking along and use the boom at the same time, or your auxiliary at the same time. So independent boom systems, which is significantly different than any other machine on the market, and a strong advantage. Hydraulic cooling fan, Rexroth hydraulics, isolator, battery, and we've got our intercooler, radiator and oil cooler. Fuel filters, quite large in the modern day. You have to be really careful with using aftermarket fuel filters. Make sure they're really fine micron rating. We recommend just using the genuine fuel filters. Air filter, so everything has really good access in the back here. So you can get to diagnose and replace components if needed pretty easily. So additional counterweight, so that just bolts on, it's a cast piece, bolts onto the existing counterweight, which is really heavy. So it's a reduced swing machine, but a lot of counterweight, so we want to keep that compact work area but not lose too much of our lifting power, which is a common problem with zero swing machines. So coming up into the cab, we've got our extra boom foot pedal, which we can also use in an automatic mode, which is this switch here. So it couples the cylinders together, so you can drive it like a normal excavator and the boom will feel standard. It just couples that extra cylinder that we've got because it's a two-piece boom. Travel levers, screen, got our reverse camera, so aircon control, start, stop, and then our modes: off, digging, skid steer. Coming to here, got a few settings: auto idle, continuous auxiliary flow, cruise control now available, so we can crawl at slow speeds. Radio, USB point, blade lever, and then on the joystick we've got our auxiliary control, and then we've got our boom switching. So you can see on the screen when I press it, it switches which boom does what. Really good for lifting. Hitch control buttons, offset, and more control buttons. Like a track loader, your traveling happens in skid steer mode on the joystick, not on these pedals. You can use these pedals if you like, but we travel backwards and forwards on these pedals. And then our 2-speed, so up to 10 kilometers an hour with Gravit is there. The seat has 2 slides, so we can use this bottom slide to slide the whole assembly with the joysticks forwards or backwards, and then you can adjust this top slide just to adjust the seat to the joystick, so it gives you the best setup.